Alright, did somebody say another cool episode of Man Plays Video Game? Don't worry, we're here for it every single day. Truly, you can never escape Man Plays Video Game on YouTube. Oh. Ignore that. Alright, welcome back to another fun little episode of History Roulette. If you're not too familiar with this series in Hearts of Iron 4, it's where we have a lot of fun and try to make the most cursed or actually most interesting scenarios using the in-game path rules you can set. So I do take viewer suggestions on what to set up for these little games, and this one has been suggested by about 500 people. Speaking of which, if you do have a suggestion on what to set everyone to, I am keeping a big list, and I have so many from you, but feel free to keep commenting and leaving them down below, because somehow you will still keep coming up with interesting ones. But today, we are going to set every single country against me. I'm going to play Germany, and I'm going to set every other country that has a path available to communism. Now, I believe with my heart today that this may actually cause me to rage quit at some point because I can only imagine how horrible this is going to be. You're gonna go ahead and save this preset as Dear Lord, send help. Okay, now not every nation, I reckon, will just join into one faction. At least I hope not. But I do think for the majority, they are all going to be my enemies. Okay, though, clearly my leader, very prepared for the job. Okay, I was going to go ahead and bring the Kaiser back potentially, because then I'd be non-aligned and still have a bit of wiggle room dealing with our new socialist friends surrounding us, but I think that's too easy. We're going to stick with our original path here, the historical path, and somehow try and make this work. Okay, we are definitely going to prioritize economic growth, though. We're not going to do the 4-year plan. I don't think I can risk that today, because if everyone joins at the one faction, it could be GG very quickly. So I think we're going to have to power through getting as much land as we can. We do have the benefit of the fact a lot of the AI is going to have to fight themselves to actually flip their ideology. So we got a little bit of time to get ourselves prepared. And I'm not going to be, gamey and just, power drop into France, capitulate the Allies straight away. I am going to try and do this on a historical timescale, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to get some land. All right, first things, I think we're just going to go ahead and steal the Dutch. They can't be trusted. I mean, look at this guy. Yeah, can we trust him? And the reason we're doing this is because I need the rubber, and this means I won't have to build any refineries, which saves us a little bit of nice wiggle room to build something more important, like whatever this guy has got up his butt. Sorry, welcome back to my Hearts of Iron 4 video, where everything that could go wrong is probably going to go wrong today, whilst you have to look at that face. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy out of his misery. Seems to have some sort of glandular issue. Okay, I'm only gonna take the provinces they have over here that do actually have resources. I might end up releasing them later. The reason I'm not just going to straight up puppet them outright is because I'm pretty sure a lot of the communist nations actually have stuff that will flip them. Same goes with the Dutch. I'm just going to puppet them outright because it could be handy if someone like Belgium goes down their path and declares on them for us. But if they do end up just joining a faction, that could be pretty bad. Yeah, we're going to keep our Dutch puppets alive, other than the land I stole. It also means we get to look at this absolute creepy fella. But yeah, I'm gonna try and get as many puppets as I can just to act as forts, essentially, that we don't have to garrison if things do turn to absolute hell. I don't think I'm gonna bother building like a new navy this time around. I usually do like to build up some screens or at least light cruisers as Germany, but considering the situation in the world, I think we're just going to go with the safe bet of just getting a ton of submarines. But unfortunately, we won't be able to flee anywhere this time, kitten. This is why, when I was talking about why I like to keep the Baltics historical in the other video, it's because within 10 seconds of the game starting, they look like this. Oh, that's messed up. Sweden wants to join my faction, but they're communist. Sure, why not? Get in. We can figure out our ideological differences together, and then we'll focus on shaving the rest of your head. Oh god, okay, yeah, this whole area right now, it's not looking good. Okay, what I could try and do is attempt to keep the Spanish alive. I can only have 3 volunteers, but that should be enough if I just make some pretty beefy mountaineers. Great, literally just turned up and they've switched nations, so my volunteers need to be reset, and that's great. There's nothing we can do here. Maybe, potentially, if they didn't just explode and my volunteers leave, we could have potentially done something, but it's too late. That's pretty damn confusing. France actually did their intervention, so they're going into Spain, even though technically they're both going to be on the same side here. Oh, wait a second. I just realized. So Spain went down the puppet Stalin route. Okay, I don't think that's gonna matter too much, but it is good news for me in a way. Okay, so we do have a couple factions that have formed that are already fighting each other. We've got the Union of Eurasian Soviets, which used to have the Soviet Union in. Not anymore, because they've been taken over by Trotsky. There's a real funny joke here somewhere about leftists infighting. Okay, I want to try and Anschluss Austria. Problem is, I still don't have enough to actually get them down. On top of that, they are fighting in their own little thing right now, which we need to end so that we can actually go ahead and get all of this land if they say yes. Here's hoping they say yes to Anschluss now, because that'll make my life a hell of a lot easier in the long term. Okay, perfect. I'm going to be cheeky as well and see if we can get the Sudetenland. I imagine the Czechs are probably going to say no because we're in a very powerful faction right now. Yeah, but if they say no, I'll probably just back down. I'm not quite ready to fight the Union of Eurasian Soviets. Yeah, okay, so they said no. And, you know, I did say I wasn't actually going to fight them, but it is kind of looking pretty tempting because I would only have to capitulate France right now, I reckon. Which does kind of go against everything I said at the start of the game. But I would have to share the war participation with Trotsky, which I think might even this out a bit. So, because the British are still in the Allies and we've got the Northern People's Union up there, the factions are pretty split enough that I reckon we could get away with this. Should we do this? Should we be cheeky? Should I also just paradrop France like I said I wouldn't do? Oh, no. We're going in. Okay, I do actually have to capitulate Iran as well here, but I think if I clear up all this land for the Soviets down here, they should take care of that themselves. Just gonna make my life way easier to get into Romania and just invade Hungary, which is a shame because I do like this guy's Dwayne The Rock Johnson eyebrow. Oh, the faction just split in half. Okay, or maybe it was already like that. I just didn't realize. No, that's definitely new. The French alliance just formed with Yugoslavia, which interesting. So we just need to capitulate Iran and we should be peaced out of both of these wars. Well, you know, after we actually also capitulate France, which shouldn't be too hard. I'm really scared this is going to spiral even further out of control though. So I'm just going to try and get at least one of these factions capitulated as quickly as we can, which means sorry, Belgium. You know what I said about spiraling? Well, it's happening. The Greeks just declared war on me, so we're going to have to hold off on Belgium. Well, they didn't actually join any factions, which was handy for us. At least we got somebody capitulated, but now we really need to get through Belgium. Okay, Belgium's gonna have to wait. Okay, back we go. Third time's a charm. We're gonna make our life a little bit easier here, I think. Didn't even get to show you how quickly they just capitulated. Okay, there you go. That is a whole bunch of people down. Not as many as you'd think because there are still the Iranians we have to go over and take care of. I'm just going to have to go over there myself, I think. But this should be good. We got the majority of the war participation too. Okay, that is good. Now we just need, I think, to capitulate Iran. And we're done with the rest of these guys. Our patience with Yugoslavia is running thin, which where are they? I'd argue it's run so thin, you can't see it with the human eye. I'm also going to take this moment as a free justification for Denmark. And there we... Wait a second. I could take land of the Soviets. Okay, I know what this looks like. It doesn't look too bad, does it? In fact, it looks pretty good. I got a lot of land. Oh, do you say you could take stuff in the Soviets? iSorrowproductions? I may have been, a very bad kitten. Yeah, I made myself some new friends in the East. Okay, so current situation looking pretty damn good. We still have factions being split up pretty much everywhere, and I'm assuming the Union of Soviet Republics will create their own faction again, potentially, and even in a glance, I'm really going to say hopefully not join the Allies or the Northern People's Union, which actually wouldn't be too bad. The Allies might be a little bit annoying, or the North American, coalition, that could be annoying, but for now, I think we're just going to chill and see what happens. Because whilst we have now conquered Europe for the most part, there are still a lot of nations that could come a-knocking. Chile is making my colonies blow up. I've only got a couple, which is good enough for me. me, that means I could just put military governor on the rest and then go crush them, hopefully before they join a faction. Oh, actually, good news, they are non-aligned, which is pretty handy. Random, just saw India join the Bolivarian alliance. Can't say I was expecting that one. Oh, the US is trying to kick me out my territories. You know what? I'm actually not scared of you in the slightest, Uncle Earl Browder. I'm gonna say no. They've got their own faction. So, you know, we could potentially go fight the US. And I did steal the French Navy, so we should be able to get some naval supremacy, potentially. Oh, you know, he actually wasn't such a coward himself, but he backed down, I think. So, we're just gonna... Oh, should we go in? No, I feel like I'm too powerful already. We'll see what they're gonna cook up. Italy's looking like a bit of a wild card down there as well. They haven't joined any factions yet, so I'm trying to, you know, just hope that maybe they'll stay neutral and not surprise me later on. But realistically, I'm probably going to forget about them and they will surprise me. And I am 100% surprised at that. Oh, Soviets finally went ahead and finished their war with Afghanistan. I'm going to go hit my demand an end to communist influence in Afghanistan and see what funny things will occur. Democratic Republic of Afghanistan concedes 2 demands. I don't think that actually changed anything, and I could just immediately hit the button again if I really wanted to. 10 out of 10 DLC, Mr. Graveyard of Empires. Iraq wants into the faction. I'm not sure if that's going to be a good idea or not, but for the fun of it, sure. Welcome to the fun zone. Oh, they faked me out. Okay, what the hell am... Where'd Canada go? Just as I got the damn fleet back home. It doesn't matter anyway. I'm not going to call... This is the whole point of having puppets. I'm not going to call my puppet in down here, which means we're just going to use that as our base of operations to then go over and slap America. Wait, no, they've learned. They're actually declaring on my puppets as well. They have a ton. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, they really don't like me, huh? My submarines aren't ready to come out yet, as I want to do cruiser subs, which are almost done. So I'm just going to go ahead, build a few destroyers and cruisers just to supplement this navy, because I don't think this navy is actually any good, but I guess it'll do its job of supremacy in some places, not a lot. I think we also just straight up need to assume that the other factions around us are also going to declare on us at some point, so we're going to have to build a few more armies to garrison the homeland while we go deal with America. Oh, it's 1941. I should probably invent the radio. You know what? Actually, that navy is not doing too bad. We are sinking a lot of the American fleet, obviously down to the fact that AI is too stupid to not split up their fleet. Yeah, fleet did get pretty damn damaged there though, but I'm assuming we have put a hard dent into the American fleet right there, and we most certainly have. They've still got a ton of stuff, but if I actually do build up my navy now and get my submarines out, which are ready to be deployed as soon as I have more dockyards, we should be good. I've literally just spammed out a whole new army ready to go deal with the Americans. Going to wait for them to train up, and then we're going to start planning our moves here. One thing that's actually kind of helping me not get completely clapped, or at least helped me not get completely clapped in that first war and this one, is that the AI is just so insistent on infighting. It's just great. Okay, Navy is back out and about with my brand new ships. Only got a few crews out, but a whole bunch of destroyers, so we should be good if we keep finding that American fleet, which our submarines aren't detecting, and then the fleet goes in and smashes them. Okay, just had my eardrums exploded with everyone joining the United Socialist Front. I don't know who formed that, but I'm assuming just invited all the communist nations that weren't in a faction into a giant one. So there you go, Italy now has friends. And there you go, it was the Italians who made it too. So we were wondering what they were gonna do, and it has been revealed. Oh, and somebody declared on me. It's the Finnish who are in the Northern People's Union. That shouldn't be too hard to deal with. Sweden. I remember the good old days where for some reason you were actually in my faction. Not a big fan of the fact the 4th International, the Bolivarian Alliance, and the United Socialist Front are all green on the map. You know, every time I like go to do something else just crops up every time. But there you go, there's Scandinavia dealt with. I will release these guys as a puppet in a second. Actually, no, I won't, because I feel like the Soviets might do that thing where they just use their decisions and immediately get a war goal on me, and I don't want to get distracted again. Oh, yeah, I guess that'll do. for now. First attempt at a landing in America. Let's go. It's not going well. I think we may have to launch further up the coast and with a lot more guys. Okay, round 2. We made it on the ground this time at least. Oh, yeah, we're in. Okay, now we gotta go. And also on top of that, I'm gonna build way more ports just in case I get kicked out here. If you didn't know, the American Air Force apparently isn't very good. I'm not too sure what to do with the rest of these factions. I really don't want to fight the United Socialist Front, though, or the Bolivarian Alliance. I don't particularly want to go to South America, but I get the feeling I'm gonna get sent down there at some point. Right, well, clearly the Italians didn't want to go down with a ship without a fight. Okay, that puts me fighting United Socialists, which ain't too bad. I mean, it's pretty bad, but I'm just going to pretend that it's not real. I literally used his last breath to kick me in the nuts, which honestly, kind of commendable. So I haven't even looked at who I need to actually go about capitulating here. Obviously, we just need the Americans and taking a few casualties, so don't worry about that. But the other faction will require me to get Socialist Republic of Italy, Japanese People's Republic, and China. That's quite the journey. I guess good news for me, I have a few Far Eastern puppets. Well, that's one of my problems dealt with. As well, so I've taken one person down. I'll now get jumped by 15 more. So we're just gonna send this army now over to the Far East and hopefully go deal with China and Japan. Just got my army over here, and looks like the UK, Union of Britain, is justifying on me. I really hope they're not gonna do it. I have like nothing in North America to go defend that stuff. You know what? I think we're gonna have to go ahead and release them. It's gonna be the only way to save that if they do declare on us. Oh, I guess they never reintegrated the South. So I'll keep the South. Japan has thankfully surrendered. They just don't know it yet. The hell are we actually doing over here, Japan? Where is your army? It's not in Japan, clearly. You know, you try to do something. Oh, and on top of that, the British have also just come in. That is just amazing. Now, we do only have to capitulate Britain to get them out. So I reckon once I clean up Italy, I'm just going to go launch straight into them head first and take that army and go deal with the Mexicans. Going to land with the other army that was originally in the Americas and try to get a capitulation on China. The only faction I'm not actually fighting right now, which I thought I would be fighting, is the Soviets. You know, I thought that was going to be a guarantee, but no. The UK is doing a Japan here, literally nothing on the garrison, but they also just have no troops straight up. I get the feeling they're probably out of manpower. Oh, someone capitulated. Which faction is? Oh, it's China. We finished off China. Best part is as well, because I had like no participation in that, I'll probably just end up having to fight all these guys again anyway. That's good though. I'm going to take my army now from Asia, go deal with South America and the absolute huge amount of people I'm fighting down there, including Mexico as well. But they're not in South America, and I don't really see them being that much of a problem. But when I get down here, I think I'm going to blow something up. My brains. UK was like no problem at all, though. And I've got the majority of the points here. Me and Turkey, for some reason. So because we got a puppet down in South America through Brazil here, I can now send my army into the depths of hell itself. I just capitulated Mexico and Chile, and I was like, oh, why is there no peace conference? India, apparently. Oh, how do I deal with this? Who am I? Where am I? Who's in my team? Freed from the torment, finally. Man, this world looks disgusting. And honestly, I think there's only one thing left to do. See, somebody's gotten away with a bit too much this game. You know, I thought they would come in on me and I don't like the way the sentences go, but I think it's time we finally deal with the Russians by allying with them. Yep. We're now best friends. Yeah, I know, kind of cheap. I was going to go in, but I feel like this is just way funnier. Also reckon at the point that I'm currently at with 1,700 factories, probably wouldn't be too hard. But there you go. That was the scenario dealt with. I think it was an absolute cluster truck in every single way possible. But hey, it was pretty fun, and I hope you enjoyed it too. And if you did, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe down below, because oh my I'm sweating. And don't forget as well, if you have an idea for a scenario, leave it in the comments down below. I am writing them all down, and I have a lot already, but I would like to add more because this is incredibly fun and absolute pure chaos.